Welcome to today's review of Breaches on PSVR2, but it's also an updated review for PCVR and Quest, because since the launch, the developers have added a new game mode called Control Point, 2 new maps called Ship and Arctic, a progression system for leveling and credits, new gun skins, graphical improvements such as fake bloom on Quest 3 and actual bloom for PCVR and PSVR2, and this is all with cross-platform play, which if you want can be disabled. But personally I wouldn't do this because obviously the more players the merrier. Also I want to add a quick note, when you start the game by default all mics are muted, so make sure you turn this off in the options, because working together as a team is hugely rewarding. Now the PSVR2 version has fantastic trigger haptics, adaptive triggers, and it's all running at 120Hz native, meaning there is no reprojection. I do have some gripes with the game, which I'll get to in a minute, but these aren't necessarily platform specific. Now normally I don't go into graphics, at least firstly in my reviews, but from what I've seen on socials there has been some mixed messaging for how the PSVR2 looks inside the headset, and I want to give my take. For me it looks great, but in my opinion it is a little softer and washed out than I expected. However, in no way should this be considered a reason to avoid it. It's of a high quality right now and runs super smooth, and the developers are also looking into adding foveated rendering in the early part of 2024, so it's only going to get better from here. Now when I say soft, it's because we've seen the capabilities of PSVR2 when all the technologies of this headset line up, and currently I would say Breaches looks great, but graphically not top tier for what is capable on PSVR2. However, in no way does this impact the gameplay, and is already entering my top games for PSVR2 list coming soon, because regardless of platform, Breaches is a fantastic tactical 5v5 VR FPS that is pretty much Rainbow Six in VR. You can play of one of two factions: the Enforcers, whose job is to disarm the bombs which are by default already laid by the enemy, which is actually my favourite side to play because tactical infiltration in VR is such a buzz, and Breaches nails this feeling completely. If you get the right team, planning your entry, working together and executing a plan is an amazing feeling. You also have some tech at your disposal depending on how much money you earn based on your killing prowess, similar to Counter-Strike. You can buy breaching foam, cloaking devices, drones and health shots that regenerate for you and your team. But once you breach inside the building, you need to be on the lookout for trip mines, door blockers and more. All of this makes it a fantastically intense first-person shooter experience. Going back to game modes, there's also Team Deathmatch, which is still unfortunately only available on one level, and then there's the arguably most popular game mode, Bomb Defusal, which is pretty much self-explanatory. The weapons have something for everyone too. I would definitely suggest taking time to find out what you enjoy most by picking up guns mid-match from fallen foes, or simply checking out the gun range. Upon starting a game, you'll have a loadout, and again this all depends on how much money you have. You can buy add-ons for your guns like sights, lasers, grips and extended mags. But for those of you looking for realistic reloading, you need to go elsewhere because Breaches only features semi-automatic loading. All you need to do is eject the clip or mag and insert a new one, and then the rest is automatic. Now personally I don't mind this, it means I can focus more on the action, but I would never say I wouldn't want a hardcore mode or something featuring actual reloading. But there is far more important things that I want to address before this, and the main one is online leveling. Currently everyone online is treated as equally skilled, meaning new players come against highly experienced players, some of which are real competitors, and since the game has been available for almost a year, that's a lot of time for these guys to master the game since it doesn't exactly have a lot of levels. And there's also two sides to this problem. This can really put new players off due to getting killed very quickly without explanation, and highly skilled players struggling for an online challenge. So I just want to say to the developers that now is the time for matchmaking to be added if you want to take this game seriously and it to have a future. This was a negative back in my original review in February, and it is still one today. Now thanks to cross-platform play, it means you're going to find even more players online, but sometimes you still need bots to fill the lobbies. But a really cool feature I love about this game is you can take control of these bots at any time once you're down by holding L1 and R1, which puts you straight back into the action. This is exactly what I love about Breaches. It's really exciting and satisfying to play, and with the recent news of First Contact closing its doors after the unsuccessful launch of Firewall Ultra, I would heavily suggest those players migrate over to Breaches. I've included their Discord in this video description, but we also have our own channel on the GT Discord if you're simply looking for people to play with. But I'm not saying don't play with randoms, it's great to meet new people, but playing with your friends is even better. The last negative is something they are clearly addressing over time, and that's the amount of maps. Even though they've added 2 more since launch, it still needs at least 10 in my opinion, and Deathmatch should not be tied to just one map. So on to my summary. Breaches as always gets a massive buy recommendation from me on all platforms. Nothing else currently delivers the tactical gameplay most of us crave in VR. And that's without mentioning the amazing clutch moments you're bound to have when it's say you versus an entire team left. And it's clear to me these developers are a long way from being finished with this game, meaning we have a lot more content to look forward to. So it definitely gets a buy recommendation from me. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and remember to leave your thoughts down in the comments below for other potential players considering if they should buy the game. Take care guys, see you next time.